Shlomi, Shlomas, us and Pepper Cupper. We're gonna do it.
We're gonna
Do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Give us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way.
Hey, did you and your family do anything for Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
You must mean the day that commemorates the victory of the Mexican army over the French Empire in 1862.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, no, sad to say we didn't do anything this year. Came and went so fast, couldn't even say arrivederci.
Arriva.
How about you, Steve? Any Cinco de Mayo?
Actually, our family has a tradition.
Oh, really?
On Cinco de Mayo's Eve, we take a brand new jar of Hellmann's and we place it in the kitchen sink. We open it up and we leave it out overnight. And then in the morning, we all sit around and have French fries, and we use the Hellmann's that sat overnight. We use that as dip with the French fries. And the first family member that gets an upset stomach and has to run into the bathroom, they are in charge of doing the family's laundry for the entire year. Yeah, tradition.
So happy I asked. Hey, I saw a bunch of like stuffed garbage bags in the back of your car, in the back of your Pacer, and some other things like clothes and that Golden Girls jigsaw puzzle and the 8-track tapes and your saxophone. And I was wondering if you were heading over to Goodwill after the update today.
No, Dave. All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go. As soon as we wrap up this news, I'm leaving on a jet plane. I was hoping to give you the news after the news because I know how you blubber with sad news and whimper and cry like a hairdresser who at her largest tipper's funeral.
Thank you, too. Thank you, Ringo.
I was going to hand you this.
Your underwear?
No. I mean, this. It puts it all in perspective and it details everything so much more articulated than I could ever be. So that says it all.
Dear Dav, I'm leaving. See ya. Stiav.
I've taken another job, Dave.
Another job?
I'm going to be the executive director at the West Palm Beach Repertory. And I've even agreed to teach a couple improv classes too.
That's it's actually really good news. That's a real sudden surprise, Steve. That's great.
Thank you.
You know, I guess it's great for you too. Look, I didn't even know West Palm Beach even had a repertory theater.
I know.
When are you supposed to start?
I don't, you know what? I've got my contract here somewhere. Here we go.
West Palm Beach.
It says I'm supposed to start September 1st.
Well, September? September. That's interesting. You're starting about the same time that most schools go back.
Yeah.
Can I take a look at that?
Oh, sure. Hey, I just want you to know, Dave, I was not trying to rub this in your face.
No, I know, Steve. Preparatory. Preparatory, Steve. You're the new executive director at the West Palm Beach Preparatory. It's a private daycare, Steve. You're going to be in charge of 2,000 pre-Ks through second graders. And you get to teach them improv. Well, congratulations, Executive Director of sunny West Palm Beach Preparatory. You know, I couldn't be happier for you. You know, you will be missed by someone, I'm sure.
Well, now it all makes sense.
What's that?
Why my final interview was held inside a bouncy house.
Hello and welcome to the Week in Review with the Chamber of Comedy. I'm Dave Hanwright.
And I'm Steve Burnett. And this week's update is brought to you by Maine Repertory Theater and Lefty Bazaar's Axe and Ale House. What goes better with drinking than wielding wobbly-handled, razor-sharp, double-edged hatchets at a distant target with your buzzed friends? Try your luck at Lefty Bazaar's Axe and Ale House. Just look for the building with the broken windows and the idling ambulance parked out back. Dave?
Thanks, Steve. Move over, Fido. Man's best friend has some friendly competition.
Oh, my.
At least when it comes to police work. For years, members of the Thin Blue Line have paired up with their canine companions to sniff out drug dealers, recover the missing, and subdue rascally Rastafarians.
But now there's a new partner suiting up, and what they lack in speed and intimidation, they more than make up for in their adorable due diligence.
That's right, the sea tortoise. The oldest living creature of the ocean has proven to be a calming compadre for the often overworked officer, with an impeccable memory and attention to detail.
Still, with every pro comes a few cons, pun intended, such as every 90 minutes, officers will be required to return their partner back to the ocean for just a spell.
Yet, despite that occasional beach-bound timeout, a number of the local incarcerated have confessed that they slowed down during the initial police pursuit because that tortoise was so darn cute, especially with the hat. I just had to pause to get a closer look.
And in an interesting twist, in their effort to take advantage of the very same cuddle factor enjoyed by the tortoise and looking to reclaim their rightful long-standing, long-sitting position, the Canine Workers Local Union have devised a plan to return the dogs to duty, only now in the form of police puppies. Sea Tortai and the police, Dave. What do you think?
Oh, I think it sounds like a great partnership to me, Steve.
Just like a couple of reporters I know.
Oh, which one of us is the tortoise, Steve?
I was thinking of Connie Chung and Dan Rather, okay? Coming up, an exclusive expose on the dangers of the rough and tumble seedy underworld of quilting.
After this word from Jimmy Ray Bob's extremely large pickup truck tires. What better way to overcompensate for your undersized throttle than with oversized wheels on your mufflerless pickup? Remember what Jimmy Ray and Bobby say.
That's right, Dave. They say, actually, I've forgotten what they say, Dave, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the size of their tiny penis.
And we're off. Thank you, 60 seconds. Thank you, 60.
Dave, you used to practice law, didn't you?
Law?
Yeah.
Never. I am no more a lawyer than you're a doctor. You know, you're thinking of my wife Carol's second cousin's friend's husband that had a sister that was a clerk at the law office of Bo Jorenstein.
But you've watched Law and Order.
Well, only the order part. You know, I do so much volunteer work, I can't commit to a full hour of television.
Wow.
So why do you ask?
I think I want to get out of this West Palm Beach preparatory. I think I want to get out of that contract.
Well, I have broken a contract or two back in my pro curling days. You know, let me take another look.
Curling days?
Yeah.
I'm imagining that was back when you had some hair.
What?
Here. What? What the?
And we're back. In other news, pour me another milk julep, barkeep. As 12-1 odds, Medina Spirit galloped to victory in the first jewel of the Triple Crown of horse racing, the 147th running of the Kentucky Derby, held last weekend.
Snazzy-dressed crowds returned to Churchill Downs in droves at the annual event, also known for bringing out the latest and fanciest in headgear fashions.
And in a break with tradition aiming to garner interest from the younger set, Derby officials chose to add hats and bonnets to the horses.
What a great way to make an exciting race even excitinger.
Just lower to me. Sunday, May 8th is National Superhero Day, or as we call it here at Maine Rep in the Chamber of Comedy, Mother's Day.
On behalf of all of us at Maine Repertory Theater, the Chamber of Comedy, and especially from Dave and myself, we'd like to wish all you mothers out there, the real superheroes, the very best of days. Oh, Dave, what I wouldn't give just to have 10 more minutes with my mom. But the guards are pretty strict with that 1 hour rule.
It all began with you, moms. You put your own needs on the shelf in deference to the needs of your kids. Whether you think it or not, we feel you are the most powerful people in the world.
And if it were up to Dave and I, well, Mother's Day would be every 6.5 days, not just once a year. Sadly, it's not up to us. We suggest you blame the officials at Hallmark. So Dave, on the count of 3,
1, 2, 3.
Happy Mother's Day. Oh, geez.
Said on 3.
Yes,
Steve.
and that means on the 3rd beat, not after it.
How many times have we gone over this?
Oh, I would say 3, but you don't know how to get to that. And now, with a triumphant return of things I learned the hard way, please don't ask me how. Here's Dave.
Thank you, Steve. When preparing your 4-year-old nephew's birthday party and booking the popular cartoon chipmunk duo that make a special surprise visit, you're going to want to double check that you actually booked the dancing Chip and Dale, not the other dancing Chippendales. Steve.
Well, there's something you certainly learned the hard way, isn't it?
I am going to stick with just a piñata from now on.
All the moms stick around?
Oh, even Roger stayed.
Hope you had enough cake for everyone.
Oh, there was enough cake. The troop brought their own cake. A guy jumped out of it.
Even I wouldn't eat that cake. And as you know all too well, Dave, that's saying something.
And now, with a personal note, here's Steve.
Thanks, Dave. Grab a tissue, everyone, because this personal note is most likely going to be my last. As you should know by now, unless I find some legal loophole, I'll be leaving soon for West Palm Beach to teach 2,000 pre-Ks to second graders the art of improvisational theater. Sometimes in life you have to do things that you don't want to. This experience will no doubt be a teaching and learning experience for me, especially since I'll be teaching 2,000 preschoolers, K through second graders, and the art of Did I mention all this? I did. Other lessons to be learned from this? Oh, you betcha. Such as read the entire contract before signing it. And, well, you might want to be brave enough to speak up when questioned during the interview about how adept I am with crayons, finger paints, and nap time. Dave?
Speaking of nap time, I for one will miss your personal notes.
Thank you, Dave. You are too kind.
With a special programming note, this will be our last update for a while. Recent polls reveal nothing happens the rest of May and into early June. But with every gray cloud, there is always a silver lining.
And ironically enough, my corduroy jumpsuit has a silver lining as well, Dave.
This brief break will give you ample time to catch up with the 30-plus updates we've managed to squeeze out over these past 10 months.
And it gives me ample time to find some competent legal counsel to help me with a certain unfortunate contract. And maybe, just maybe, no promises, but I might get a haircut.
So that's this week's Week in Review. Thank you for joining us. If you liked whatever this is, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe on the YouTubes. Until next time, I'm Dave Hanright.
And I'm Steve Burnett. Remember, when news breaks out,
So do we.
Thank you.
And good night. Well, that went well, I thought.
Yeah. Do not forget to call your mom for Mother's Day.
Oh, well, I already did, Steve. Thanks for the reminder. Now, I'll give you a reminder. Don't you forget either.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks. My mom passed away years ago.
But you just told the viewers
It was a joke.
you used your deceased mother as a joke?
Well, yes, she would have approved of it. Trust me, she was my mom. The jokes that she has told me, if I told any of them here, we would have been taken off the air. But how about you and the missus? You got any big Mother's Day plans with you and Carol?
I wouldn't say big plans. I mean, we're going to have a picnic lunch, a couple's massage, horseback riding on the beach, then a romantic walk downtown to get some ice cream.
Oh, wow.
About you, any plans?
Well, actually, interestingly enough, I'm going to take a road trip.
Really?
I'm going to drive. I'm going to drive to Ohio. I've even packed a full-length mirror. I'm going to be doing a lot of self-reflecting. So, yeah, I'm gonna stay at the house that I grew up in. Just going to hang out and enjoy some much overdue, some much-needed time. Yeah, where I grew up.
That sounds really nice, Steve. I'm
Thank
really
you.
happy for you.
Thank you. I just got to hope that the new owners of the house aren't there when I show up. These aren't candy.